Schön, dass ihr noch da seid, heute hier auf der Gamescom 2011. Hier in der Energie hoch 3 ESL Arena in Halle 9 befinden wir uns gerade. Die Inter Extreme Masters werden hier ausgespielt, die Global Challenge Cologne. Und wir haben heute die letzte Partie des Tages mit am Start. Es wird noch einmal League of Legends geben und ich frage euch, habt ihr noch Bock? Also es gibt hier wirklich viele treue Zuschauer, immer noch um diese Uhrzeit, teilweise schon seit gefühlten 20 Stunden hier, aber ich glaube, es sind so ungefähr schon 10. Und dafür werden wir euch auch belohnen mit einer wirklich sehr schönen Partie, nämlich Millenium gegen Solomid. Und ich will gar keine weitere Zeit verlieren. Wir holen das erste Team auf die Bühne. Ich bitte um einen sehr großen Applaus für das Team Millenium. Die Jungs aus Frankreich extrem stark. Ich bin sehr gespannt, wie sie sich schlagen werden, denn das wird auf jeden Fall hier gleich ein großer Spaß. Die Leute sind schon heiß. Wir wollen natürlich auch die Herausforderer bzw. die Gegner mit auf die Bühne holen. Und da bitte einen ganz großen Applaus für das Team Solomid. Jungs, ich glaube, der Plan war mal, dass das eine Team nach links weggeht, sobald das andere kommt. Egal, das verstehen beide Seiten nicht. Aber das ist auch, glaube ich, schon mal ein Applaus wert. Bitte nochmal großen Applaus für beide Teams. Und die Jungs sind so, die wissen gar nicht, wohin mit sich. Das ist echt schade. Aber es gibt auf jeden Fall ein Vorinterview und da können wir mal fragen, wie es denen geht. Vielleicht auch ein bisschen Nervosität mit dabei, sind noch aufgeregt. Machen Sie das Game ganz locker, haben Sie gut trainiert. Ich denke, beide Teams sind sehr fit. Versprechen kann ich euch das nicht, das wollen wir rausfinden mit dem Vorinterview. Viel Spaß mit Kelly.
Yeah. Hey, so just want to have a quick update on the scores. Currently, both teams are on 2-0. Just want to ask you really quickly, against Solomid, have you guys actually seen them play before?
Yeah, we played them before at DreamHack, and that were a great match.
Okay. Well, do you have any special strategy you prepared?
No, but we are really happy to play them, and I hope they are too.
Well, okay, do you have, I just want to ask really quickly about your role in the team.
My role in the team?
Yeah, and everyone else's.
I'm the support player. Tidus is the AD player. Linak is our middle AP, and so as our top player, and we have Shlaya, our new player, who is the jungle.
All right, thank you. Just want to talk to you guys really quickly as well. Like I said, you guys are the favorite in the tournament at the moment. How confident are you against Millenium?
I would probably say probably 80% confident that we can take first. And I think that SK, Fnatic, and Millenium are going to be really tough teams to beat. So we're just going to come here with our A game.
Well, in general, do you guys usually play the same style, like very aggressive kind of style, or do you have a different type of style based on draft and what the opponent picks?
Well, I used to be really aggressive, and it's either I get first blood or I'll get first blood. Now I'm like just gonna play ultra modest passive style and stay back, not die.
Okay, I have a really quick question to ask. Why do you pick LoL to be a competitive game?
I think League of Legends is gonna be a competitive game because a competitive game is supported by the casuals, and League of Legends has a big casual community, and they're really supportive, and they're awesome fans.
Yeah, you want to say something to your fans, right?
Shout out to my fans. Here's a big heart for Angela.
All right, well, wish them good luck for the games.
Did you notice there wasn't a mention of CLG in the favourites for this tournament from Reginald?
I know, exactly. That was nothing against the counter-Americans. They only mentioned Europeans, didn't they? Yeah. Oh, who knows? The CLG team are in the crowd, actually, as are the SK team and the Fnatic. They're all sort of kind of watching it. And I believe on stream 2, actually, Shushay will be casting with Xenon.
that's a treat.
That's a treat, yeah.
Yeah, My Revenge versus Alternate obviously is the other game. They're kind of fighting for the 3rd and 4th place, which, you know, it's always a bonus if you manage to take that 3rd place rather than finishing last in your group. But here on the mainstream, of course, is going to be TSM versus Millenium. 1st against 2nd. I guess they're actually tied right now in 1st and 2nd, but, you know, it's the winner of this one will be going through into the semi-final with the higher seed. They will play a team who finished 2nd in Group B, which, of course, will be coming your way here tomorrow from the Intel Extreme Mass. So really, really important game. Obviously, I think you can say that Group A is definitely the weaker of the 2 groups. Over when you look at Group B, you know, you've got SK there, you've got Fnatic there, you've got CLG there, and you've got Frag Executors there, the Polish team who actually, I've talked to a lot of the players and they said we're really...
They're a little worried.
Yeah, we don't want to underestimate them because they are a very, very strong team. So.
We can't rule them out. I mean, like you say, I mean, you got Fnatic, DreamHack winners, proved it that they can do it on LAN. They're very strong. They've got the full team. We were led to believe there was one missing.
I have to apologise about that, by the way. PK is here. He's not on holiday like I said on Twitter. Someone fed me that rumour, and it turned out not to be true. Dirty lies.
And then PK walks in and we went, hold on a minute, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
We've been trolled. And then CLG, you know, they've been bringing their A-game lately. Solce is here. He's absolute fantastic AP here, carry. So probably going to see Solce in mid with him. But, you know, we've got so much ahead of us already. And it's only the group days, you know. It's Group A, Group B, and then it gets the serious stuff. There's no double elimination, which is very important. So, you know, you only get one chance at this. You lose your game, you mess up. You don't bring your A game when you're over there on this enormous stage behind us. You know, there's a lot of pressure on the players. Some of them won't even be used to it. Some of them have been there before. I mean, CLG were there before. I guess you could say, I mean, either the DreamHack stage, etc. The final, there was a lot of money on the line, stuff like that. So some of them are used to it. Millenium, you know, we've got 2 new guys there that didn't experience it at DreamHack. They weren't there in Jonkoping, I believe it is, if I get my pronunciation right.
Actually, Titus was there but not playing.
Yeah, he was there but not playing.
Watching, so I guess that doesn't count either.
Not quite the same, is it? Yeah, so when, you know, but whereas TSM, they've kind of been bringing their A-game so far. They've had a few shaky moments mid-game, so I'm really not sure how this one's going to play out. I guess it's going to be the traditional Europe v American. The bans are probably going to go, you know, almost certainly Oriana's probably going to get banned by Millenium. So we're getting straight into the ban screen, so we're going to jump straight over to it. You can see Millenium immediately, actually it was TSM, were very quick on their ban. This is quick fire banning. Why do we never get this when we're online? That's the question. So Alistair banned straight away for Millenium, Lee Sin banned for Team Solo Mid, then straight over to Zilean. This is incredibly quick. It's using the new tournament mode. Zilean banned for Millenium there, and Oriana, as we suggested, going to get banned straight by TSM. Now they've got to have a little think about what they're going to do. Zilean banned there. That was really about Reginald. Reginald played a solid Zilean in the last game against Alternate, but not going to get to do it this time. I guess we're going to see possibly a Brand again. So Singed banned there this time. Singed it banned. That's got to be aiming straight for the Rain Man.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen him play it so strongly before. And, you know, a ban which you probably won't always see, not one of the more common ones, but I still think a fairly solid ban there from Millenium to count out. Nidalee as well, who I think has been banned in every single game we've seen so far.
Yeah, there was a picture opportunity earlier, actually. I just took it to Hotshot. They had like a Nidalee cosplay, really hot-looking girl.
Missed it.
Yeah, well, more to the point, Hotshot wanted to get his picture taken, obviously, with her, but we missed it, so oh well. Oh well, maybe next time. Here we go, Kuja immediately going straight, picking up Annie. That's going to be for Linac. Linac is the new AP solo mid. Solo mid? I guess you don't really normally get 2 people mid. It would actually, you probably do in solo queues. You get that guy like, I'm mid. No, you're mid.
I've seen worse.
I'm the carry. Yeah, and well, here we go. Udyr and wow, straight away going Gangplank. We saw Gangplank in the last one. Very strong jungler. Actually invaded the opposition jungle, and I think he had every single blue in the game. And another important point: will we see the 1v1 fight, the level 1 fight, which actually we have had the last 2 times we've seen TSM already? Udyr actually being changed at the end there, so Chaos going with Ashe, so not going to lock down Udyr, so that means they're thinking, you know, we don't need to use him as a first pick. We're almost certain that Aurelia is going to get picked by Millenium here. I think they kind of know that both of them are going to do it regardless. Obviously, Soaz will probably go on the top there. There we go. So Brand being picked up, that's going to be Reginald almost certainly. And there's Udyr. Yeah, they didn't want to waste it, so which means they really wanted that Ashe arrow. You know, it's such a good initiator.
It certainly is. And Gangplank as well is another champion that we've seen either banned or picked in every game.
Yeah. He's very strong.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we're on the Wukong patch, so he's even stronger than he is on the live.
Yeah, he got tweaked, is what you could call it. Instead of nerfed. Wow, that's a troll. I'm not having it. I'm not biting. I'm not taking the bait.
No.
Jax is there, but I'm not taking
Jax.
the bait. I'm not taking it. No, sorry, Tidus. You're gonna have to change. It's going to be, who we got? We got Annie, Caitlyn. So the bottom lane's been secured, so we just need a jungler and top lane. There's absolutely no way it's going to be going Jax versus Udyr at top. That's just not going to happen.
Well, we've got Nunu coming out there. He's still got 20 seconds to change his mind, as Tidus. And I guess we're going to be seeing Aurelia coming out there regardless.
Yeah, it's going to be, almost certainly. So, Linak, actually, this is the first time we've seen Nunu this tournament. Nunu's kind of been neglected. I don't know. I guess maybe the Americans certainly favouring Gangplank. And he's going to leave it to the last minute. Oh!
Okay.
Wow. So, well, I mean, how's that going to work up top? We got Jax. He is a good melee v melee hero. Maybe they're thinking, if Udyr is going to get the speed hit in, it's going to trigger the counter strike a lot. So it may be the dodge, but that's kind of come out of the blue, that one. I got to be honest.
Yeah, especially since Soaz's real comfort zone is Aurelia.
Yeah, maybe they expected it, so they're thinking, okay, we're going to have to try something different. I don't know. We don't get to see these guys practice too much. Maybe they've been practicing Udyr versus Jax. I am intrigued to see how this one's going to work, because it's not like you can power up and jump on Udyr, because he's just going to turtle shield.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know. I really don't know what the plan is here. I'm kind of flabbergasted that they've actually gone with it and picked it. Oh, come on! I bet he wanted to change.
Yeah,
I bet he wanted to change and missed it and let it count down too long and trolled himself.
Yeah, he said that they can't swap it out because of a bug. That's what you get for trolling.
Well, actually, so troll. So remake blind pick. I mean, technically they have to remake with the same heroes. So if they really messed up, we'll see. But I guess we'll soon find out. Anyway, Team Solo Mid versus Millenium. It's a big game. It's the one for the group. Who is your favourite? We're just in the picks. Who do you think? I mean, personally, I'm thinking Team Solo Mid.
Yeah, it's really hard to call in any case, but I think Team Solo Mid, they have somewhat of an advantage just from the fact that Millenium obviously have a substitute here. There's no Yellow Star, which is a real powerful thing, or person as he is rather than a thing. But yeah, he's still Yellow Star, still awesome, and he's not here. So I think that's really going to play against Millenium coming into this game, but they have replaced him with players who are definitely up to this kind of thing. I should really jump in there quickly.
You might want to before they start it. And I guess the admin, I think there was a staff member. You might have, well, you don't see it on the stream here. A staff member coming in. That's actually Ymir, I believe. He's been writing up the reports over at IEM Gamescom .leagueoflegends.com. So easy to remember. But yeah, they're doing match reports on there. Obviously, the videos of the games are being linked on there when they eventually get edited and they get uploaded. So, you can catch it if you miss the action, which a lot of the Americans will do. I mean, we're probably just about getting in their time zone. Actually, it's quite hard for European teams.
When the day's done, we actually will have a rerun of the entire day. So if you missed any of the games, of course, you can find all the VODs on the ESL TV website, but those reruns will be there as well. So you can watch the tournament all over again because of that. Okay, there we go. So looks like Riot are in here as well. Go, 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 go. We can start this one off. Yeah, and because of the strength of Group B... Okay, Tidus left now. Maybe we get there sometime in the end. Yeah, because of the strength of Group B, it might not matter too much when you finish first or second in this one. Okay, technically on paper, you're going to face the weaker team, which, SK, Fnatic, CLG, and FX in that group. I don't think they really mind. If you're going to win a tournament like this, you've got to beat everyone anyway.
Yeah, and it's the good and bad thing. I mean, obviously, if you get like a normal tournament where it's just straight turn up and play type thing, you'll have massive pools, massive groups, and you won't get a good game for a long time. However, because there's been such a big qualification period, obviously ourselves, we covered the European side of things, and ESL will cover in the American side. Cobby Cheese was doing that, and we get to see these amazing matches straight away in the group phase, but it also causes incredibly strong stacked groups, which is somebody is not going to qualify tomorrow. Somebody, well, 2 people, there's probably going to be 10 people to be fair, but but some teams, you know, and it's going to be one of the big ones.
Yeah.
You know, sponsors are here. You know, it's a lot of pressure that goes on you. These guys, and you know, Fnatic earlier, they had like a meet and greet over on the stand. It was insane. There was like people just pouring on. They were just like, oh my god, these guys have become rock stars overnight. You know, in terms of gaming, they will never have experienced it. You know, obviously DreamHack launched them onto this platform, and now you know these guys can't walk around this event. They are getting photos taken with them constantly. They're sort of experiencing stuff that, you know, normally they've just been sat at home streaming to themselves. You get that little picture in the corner, just like the little face sat
there. That was their fame.
Yeah. But now they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, really, I've seen so many people around today. One guy I have to give a shout out to, actually. I don't know his name, but he was wearing a picture of Hotshot GG on his t-shirt.
And Hotshot's got a picture of him with
really?
Hotshot. Yeah, he's really happy with that. So.
Yeah, but that's just great to see. And as Reginald rightly pointed out, League of Legends really deserves its position here, in my opinion. You know, you've got to have that strong casual community behind the game.
Because Ymir.
And we have lots of people here who are really interested to see these games. So we've got a loading screen. We're about to kick this one off. And, of course, it's for the first place in Group A. And it's TSM versus Millenium. So we are in game then, and just to point out there, Soaz is actually playing the AP this time, with Tidus taking Jax and Linak taking the AD carry. So things are switching up, and we actually mentioned this before the first game of the day. I talked to Kudra and said, mate, where is Yellow Star? He said, yeah, he's on holiday, but don't worry, depending on the champion that we're going to have, we're going to actually be switching up roles during this tournament, and that's something that they're going for here against TSM. So this should be interesting to see. We're not, by the looks of things, going to be seeing any level 1 fight. Both teams playing it fairly cautiously.
Yeah, and it's kind of expected. You know, these guys, we've seen TSM going very aggressive, actually, in the jungle. The first game, they went straight down the bottom and actually managed to get first blood straight out of it. Reginald on Brown there. The second game, they almost got caught themselves by Alternate on the main stage just earlier today. So maybe that, you know, with it Millenium, it's just they're going to be more precautious. So you know, they've got to be very cautious of what they're doing. So immediately we can see that, well, they're just going to sit up stage. At the moment, I'm seeing Chaos actually starting in mid. This I am not expecting. So Reginald gone top, and Chaos setting up in mid, which means Udyr is going to go bottom with Janna. What the heck is going on here? This is like just complete change up. We've gone back to the beginning of League of Legends. We've got Ashe mid. What is going on here, Joe?
Well, we're seeing right now the odd one who will just finish off there. So we've got your PC on stage actually. So you're the cameraman.
That's okay.
Yeah, but like you say, I mean, Brand up there on the top. Maybe they're thinking that range can really force Jax off his game. And as you can see, Reginald just zoning Tidus out as often as possible. And that could be very interesting, seeing how the CS count goes in that area. Obviously, in the middle area, we have Soaz on Annie Chaos with Ashe. And actually, we're seeing Nunu coming up here, and Reginald in the safe zone, not going to have any trouble getting himself away from that one. Ward's going down at the bottom from X-Special. And Reginald may be caught out here this time, though. He's actually been taken from behind as he actually will put the pressure back onto Schleier. And they're kind of exchanging damage here. Reginald obviously already popping those health pots just to make sure he keeps himself safe. Gangplank is moving his way in as well, but the odd one is very, well, not very low HP, but only got around about a third of his health. So I'm not sure what we're really going to see from that one. Tidus actually will jump in onto Reginald there, and he's dropped the Ignite on him as well, so that may just force Reginald to go home. He does have still 2 pots left. He just used one of them.
Okay, so we've got to change a lane as well now. We're having some movements from Team Solo mid here. Ash has now gone down bottom with Johnny. You can see Rainman come into mid. So now it's the Udyr versus Annie mid. So very creative gaming from Team Solo mid here at the moment. Oh, it's stunned straight away. Rainman also got a nice stack on in the back. And that's going to do enough damage to really force him back. I don't think he was quite expecting
as well. We're seeing the pressure being put onto Reginald, who actually has to burn his flash to get away from that one again. Schleier has done a great job so far of coming in there. Odd One is actually by that tri-bus just hanging around just to see if Schleier makes another attempt to move in there. He's actually in that bush there up by Reginald, but Reginald will force him away. Odd One is still hanging in there. Down on the bottom lane, we're seeing Millenium push quite nicely.
Yeah, and Rayman's also being stunned up again by Soaz there. Soaz burning the mana, trying to keep Rayman at bay. So obviously using that turtle shield to great advantage to just be able to farm against him. The target's actually gone down on towards Soaz's head here. So Soaz, you know, as the Annie in mid, it's something I've never seen in a tournament gameplay. It's Soaz playing the AP mid, which is maybe going to be a little bit creative. You can see the Rayman coming around the side here. The Odd One does manage to go in there. The flash went down. He'd managed to get the exhaust solely. First blood. No, he's going to get away. Oh, but the Odd One manages to flash in and use the parlay and does finally make him take down. So first blood going to the Odd One. Nicely played there, but wow. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of summoner spells being burned up very early on here.
Soaz nearly got away with that one as well. That's the most ridiculous thing about it. But still, his initial positioning to be so far forward, for me, was a little bit risky anyway. And obviously, he's paid the price for that one. Up on the top, we saw Tidus go back a little bit earlier on. Did pick himself up boots. Obviously, Doran's blade he started with from a little bit earlier on as well. Rainman is going to have his lane covered by Schleier, who'd start to move it down on the bottom. I have to say, Millenium are doing a really good job of keeping that Ashe and Janna at bay.
Yeah, and what we saw in DreamHack was the Millenium and Fnatic were very good at lane phase. They were very strong lane phases, and we're kind of seeing it again. You can see down the bottom here that Linak is just keeping it very strongly pushed here. Oh, nicely pilt over Peacemaker straight over the Ashe there. So Chaos is actually forced very far back. I don't think he's going to be used to this one. Remember, these guys have played fairly easily paced games, has to be said. So, you know, to get jumped in suddenly to players are a lot higher skill level, it's going to be tricky for them. Tidus has actually been Tidus, I should say. I keep calling him Tidus. That's obviously after Tiddy from Fnatic, the Call of Duty player, long time ago there. Reginald has got the Odd One. You see Gangplank ninja'd his way in there, trying to get the stun actually onto Tidus there. Maybe even trying to bait him into it. I'm going to try and keep my eye on down bottom because I can see Janna solo at the moment versus Caitlyn, which means Ashe has gone back and bought. Here we go. The Odd One going to come around. I don't think he's going to be able to land that slow quite far enough yet. He's managed to get enough distance. You can also see that Schleier is coming up, gets that speed buff on towards Tidus there. Tidus is going to back away. Meanwhile, in mid, you can see that turtle shield of Rayman. It's actually working very well against Soaz. Soaz is not going to be able to do a great deal against Udyr here mid.
No, I totally agree with you there as well. That shield makes it very hard to, you know, convert all that burst damage that Annie has into an actual kill. We're probably going to see him doing, you know, half, maybe even a little bit more damage to the Rayman, but probably not able to finish off a kill in itself. We saw Ashe go back. Actually picked up the Madras Razors there.
Yeah, so we've seen this with Team Solo mid. It's actually something they've been doing pretty much all the way through, and apparently it's become almost a stable place in American gaming. Is they go all for Wriggles Lanterns. You get 3 Wriggles Lanterns, which means they can do the dragon a lot faster, quicker. So when it becomes like a scary team fight around there, they're just going to get it straight down. Also gives them the opportunity to do Baron a lot quicker, which is what we've seen. So it's kind of caught us out, and we have seen some of the European teams doing it. Oh, the Odd One having a peek there. He's not really in a situation. The ward spotting him, he was pinged straight up as soon as he was going there. So again, Gangplank's going to have to go back. I've not seen too much jungle invasion actually from either of these sides, considering it's Nunu and Gangplank. Maybe I've just not been watching it because the action's been fairly hotting up at the moment. Let's have a look at down the bottom. We can see S-wise 55 to 50, so pretty even stuff between them. At the top, you can see it's going to be Jax versus Brandy. You'd expect Brand to be higher, and he is, because Jax is it's a little bit light in the early levels, so he just needs to, and you can see he's actually being zoned out there. Nice pump straight on towards Reginald, managed to get the ulti off on them. They're both double ignited. Will he finish him off? Yes, he will. Reginald with the kill with a basic attack flash there. Very aggressive stuff, and really could have gone either way. If, you know, anyone would have had a little bit of help there, they certainly would have. Let's have a look towards mid. You can see still nothing from it. And, you know, Soaz is not even bothering holding Tibbers back because he just knows he's not really going to be able to do a fat lot about it. Let's have a look down the bottom. You can see a Gameian push. Where's that arrow going straight off to? I'm going to follow it. I think it was going for Annie. Annie just dodges it because Slayer had just seen it straight on the screen there. So I think Annie would have not gone down there, but a lot of damage being done regardless. And let's have a look. Brandy's going to go back. So Reginald will be buying, I guess, a blasting ward, maybe? No, it's going straight for Sorcerer's Boots and a second Doran's Ring. Meanwhile, Jax is coming back with that awesome skin, by the way, with a second Doran's and a pair of boots.
And we've actually seen Nunu, of course, is Schleier, the newest player actually coming into this Millennium lineup. He's had Oracle for, I think, around about a minute and a half now, and he's really done a good job of clearing out. There's only one ward left in that southern river area, and we're going to see now if he can actually make a bit of an impact and get in for the gank onto this bottom lane. Both X-Special and Coates have played this bottom lane quite passively, not really pushed it up whatsoever, and I think that's more to do with the fact that they're a little bit scared of Linux Caitlyn with that awesome range that she has, really putting out some early damage onto that lane and forcing him to go back and lose out on that CS. And if we look down it once again, 76 to 70, so it stayed very, very even down there.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing the Wriggles being built on Gangplank, obviously on Ashe, and it has been completed on Idea in the center as well. So, yeah, I mean, the Wriggles are being built, pinged on... We can never tell who's doing the ping. Actually, it's the red ping means it's them. So Odir is actually thinking... Oh, now you can see he's just gone straight past the ward. He was actually thinking of going for blue, and Brand was pushing it there, trying to get on towards Jax. Remember, Jax has got that ulti up now, so he can start dodging a lot more, but you can't dodge a nuke. That's the problem. And meanwhile, Odir has just got Schleier poking around him. Also, Gangplank had sneaked his way in there. They're probably kind of saying, Reginald, do you mind not pushing the lane so much? We're kind of like waiting to gank. The odd one might as well just port back right now. He's just doing enough damage just to keep him at base. Slayer is going to come around. They're going to jump straight on him. The odd one does come around the side, and that's almost just sort of to save his bacon. He just forced him backwards. Meanwhile, back in the mid, you can see Udir's immediately comes straight in there, having to turtle shield up. Getting a fair bit of burst damage there from Soaz. Soaz has managed to get a blasting ward and 2 Doran's rings now, so... You can see Ashe also just gone back. Ashe is going to probably complete that. Wriggles, I guess. Yes, he will do. Wriggles and a pair of boots. So slowly building up. BF sword meanwhile, so going pretty much standard on Linak there. So the BF sword along with a pair of boots.
Soaz just moving his way through around this middle area. Obviously, Rayman's going to be such a tough target. And actually both players stunning each other, and Soaz is going to walk away from that one without any problem. As you mentioned down the bottom, we did see Wriggles completed by Ashe, but the BF sword was finished for Caitlyn a little bit earlier on. So we'll see exactly where that BF sword leads Caitlyn. I think last time we actually saw her in Force for Millennium, it was... anyway, we've got this action up at top. I'll talk about that later. And actually, the kill will come out from Reginald. Was caught in that Gangplank ulti, and he's got himself away, and he's going to flash in. Actually, both players flashing at the same time. Reginald is a dead man, and he's not going to get the kill onto Schleier. He did put the Ignite out there, but I'm pretty sure he's going to survive that one. Yes, he does. 23 health left, and that was nicely covered there by Soaz to get up and get that kill.
Yeah, Reginald getting a little bit greedy, it has to be said there. He got the one kill, could have got away with it and backed straight away and went dark and then just flashed straight in there. However, Janna taking a big hit in the backside there from Linak. They are going to pick up this dragon though, I feel, and then obviously those Wriggles Lanterns are paying dividends, despite the fact Gangplank hadn't even completed his. He will go back now, but that's going to be the first dragon. That's going to give them a big gold advantage. You can see the gold advantage already. We have it now on the spec mode. It's really helpful for us, to be honest, as spectators and commentators. Meanwhile, you can see Annie has continued to stay at the top here. So Soaz putting a little bit of damage down in this tower. Probably going to strip about half health before Brand even gets back here. And I guess maybe trying to farm up and just trying to... I think probably going to go straight for a cap, Rabadon's death cap. I kind of expect that's what she's going to go for. Needs to farm up a bit. Tidus is returning. And, well, in the meantime, Slayer's trying to cover off the Rayman. You cannot leave a deer. Once he starts getting enough fed, you can't leave him alone in lanes like that.
He's actually starting to work his way a little bit further north into that top lane. Reginald obviously around that turret. There are pings going down, so Millennium know that Rainman is starting to work his way up there. And yeah, there is a ward in that tri-bush, as you can see there on your screen. Let's Tiger's still hanging in there. Soaz obviously is still missing. Down at bottom, we're seeing a little bit of pressure coming out. Kuja just backing away from that one. And up at top, Gangplank is still sniffing around as well. And they don't know, well, probably they do know that Soaz is there. In fact, yeah, they will put a ping into that top bush. So they've got an idea that Soaz is in around. There goes Tippers, there goes a stun, and Reginald down and out of this one. Even the ulti came in as well. Which is interesting, it's showing us a green Gangplank ulti.
I did notice that actually, and I noticed in the last one.
It confused me in the first one.
I was like,
what?
Oh, is that green? But okay, maybe that's something we could think of. Oh wow, the big damage there onto the odd one. So Soaz has got quite a good AP already. Obviously got the 2 Dorans, and Tidus not going to go in for it. Will Tidus dive in? No, he's not. And you can see Udyr is also having to come back up there, so he's trying to cover it off, which means, let's have a look down the bottom. They've actually back on the tower. I think they've just... And they haven't been to buy yet. Let's have a look at the CS. It's 119 to 114, still very, very even down the bottom here. And Annie actually, 114, Annie got very good CS, it has to be said, compared to everyone else. However, Jax had fell behind, so Jax is going to struggle. But Jax is one of those heroes that can just get better and better as the game goes on, as long as the game lasts that long, as it were. So
Yeah.
KX is going to go straight back. I guess a BF sword's going to come out now. Yeah, KX has got himself a BF sword. Doesn't have those Berserker Greaves yet, but doesn't really need them. Soaz returns the mid, has picked up a needlessly large rod now. Obviously that kill on Reginald really helping his efforts. And Reginald, at the moment, I don't think he's going to be happy with this game. He has had 2 deaths, really, that he was at fault at.
Yeah, I mean, without them, he'd be looking very, very strong now. He's got those 3 Doran's rings. Does have the blasting wand in there as well. Up on the top lane, of course, we do have Udyr, who was the original up at that top, or the second original. They've switched, you know, 3-4 times, or 2-3 times during this game already. You see that Rayman is the one up there putting on the pressure. Maybe we're going to see some pressure onto Linak down at bottom. Yeah, knocked down to around about half HP. No mana left, and actually netted herself away from there. Didn't want to get caught out. Up on the top, it's just 2 guys hitting each other for a very long time.
It's a slugfest going on there. Jax is going to get a bit of damage on. This is what we're expecting. He's actually using the exhaust. I don't know why he went for the exhaust there. Was he really thinking he was going to get it? And predictably, the counter-strike going straight off there from Jax, just saying, you're going to come at me, I'm going to stun you. Meanwhile, there's go going on in the mid there. You can see that Nunu is being chased. There's 4 members of Team Solo mid, and he needs to be very careful as well, because he's going to come around the side. Oh, but Tippers goes straight down on Reginald. I don't think he's going to quite have enough burst. Is he going to be able to get away with it? Gangplank ulti kind of wasted there. Tippers is just stood in the middle of it. Meanwhile, you can see Udyr is coming around the side. Instead, they're just going to switch it up and steal the blue. Meanwhile, you can see down the bottom here, Linak continues to push, and he's going to get a lot of damage on this tower before they even get back here. May even be able to take it down. It's down to 543, going down at a good 100 hit points to go. Yes, he will. That's a desperate, desperate loss for Team Solo mid. They're losing that tower. Will manage to get a little bit of damage onto Linak, but it doesn't matter. And that's very important play by Millenium there. They didn't feel pressured. You know, 4 people of Team Solo mid charging up the mid. They weren't panicked by it. They haven't got the teleport, you know, what we saw in DreamHack, but
this could be bad news. So Linak actually having to flash away. Net will go out. And he walked straight into that pillar there as well from Reginald. Great job. The ulti actually taking around about a third of that health away from Soraka, which won't make too much of a difference. But she's now defending that tower alone. We are seeing Nunu and Annie kind of on standby, ready to move in there if they need to. But it was a nice finisher from Reginald, and you have to say it's not easy to avoid that kind of push when you're 3 against, or 1 against 3, actually, as it was there for Linak.
Meanwhile, 2 dudes keep continuing to hit each other at the top here. They're just... You know, actually, to be fair, Tidus is slowly losing the battle. Udyr has actually got pretty strong, pretty beefy now, so it's kind of got to the point. However, Infinity Edge now on Caitlyn. Need to be careful here. Oh, it's going to be a face check straight in there, and that's going to be the Ash Arrow straight onto Slayer. Slayer's not going to be able to get away from this one. Oh, but he's flashed straight through, but a flash from KX is going to follow straight away. The slow arrows, he's going to lose track of him as soon as he goes into that jungle. He needs to land the hit. Instead, the odd one's going to flash through as well, so double flash used. Will they be able to finish him off? Meanwhile, coming round the side, is he actually finishing him? What is he doing? Hit him, man. Meanwhile, Soaz turns around, X Special goes down. Good use, and also takes down the Ash as well. Craziness there. Reginald's not going to be able to get this kill. He's going to continue to dive it, though. He's determined to get Soaz, but that really backfired for Team Solo mid. Linak are playing, Millenium, sorry, are playing fantastically well here. Meanwhile, you can see Linak has gone up the top here, and he's actually he's got a lot of damage. He's got that Infinity Edge. He's managed to beat a hole in that Udyr turtle shield.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you can't underestimate the range of Caitlyn, and the power now that she's got that Infinity Edge can cause Udi a lot of trouble up at the top because he just can't get on her, and that's a problem. In middle, we are seeing Reginald hammering away on this turret, and I think it's going to go down. Yeah, it will do. Before Jax actually gets himself in there. Minion's obviously just been kept at bay by Reginald, and it's not going to go down, actually. I saw Titus just come in. I think it probably Reginald could have stuck around to finish that one off. It was like 2 hits max to finish off that turret. We do have Dragon up already. It came back on 18:05, and I actually timed that. The players used to do it for us before when we had the chat window, but I decided to time it this time. Actually, a ward goes in. Xpecial does have the... the turret up at top. I missed that one. Yeah, Oracle on Xpecial, so that ward will go down. Obviously, Rainman, Odd One, will have no problem taking this dragon down very, very quickly. So that'll be coming up in 6 minutes' time. Up in the top area, we've actually got Tidus running through the jungle there. Reginald is there, and he needs to be very careful. Caitlyn's in there as well. Is Reginald going to go down? Gets the stun off onto Linek. Oh, and the ulti was out, and that was very close, and he actually gets the kill. Didn't spot the ignite that had gone in there as well. Brilliant, brilliant play from Reginald to actually survive. And, well, that good old ulti, they were just close enough to get the bounce.
Yeah, it was the dot just finishing him off, and we experienced that the other day, didn't we, Joe, when I pooned you in a 1v1.
Yeah, you're just making that up.
Just making it up the stream, that's right. So, 20 minutes in, and you've got to be careful. Remember, Candy Panda, Caitlyn. It's Caitlyn. I just call it Candy Panda these days. I'm so used to him playing it. Caitlyn and Jax together could take a tower down very quickly, so they've got to be careful in situations like that, which they almost had, where the two of them were just free to hit on that tower as it was. Managed to slowly get a push on there, but Chaos continuing to push his dominance down the bottom here. Needs to be careful. The rest of the team are starting to react. It's just going to port away. Plenty of time for that. Udyr, will he get a stun? Yes, he will do. Managed to get the stun down, and so has Soraka is there with him though, so I think he's going to be able to dive the tower too badly. There is a little bit of health. There's not a lot of health on that mid tower, so it's almost certainly going to go down. Oh, Asho just flashing through. Didn't manage to land anyone. I think that would have been the death of them. You can see they were just hanging back. However, AP-wise, you can see 251 for Annie. Meanwhile, Brand is a little far behind, 137. I had to win Rod of Ages first again. We saw this in the last match as well, and the triple Doran, so didn't go straight for the Rabadon's death cap, which Annie has the advantage of. Annie obviously staying mid, had a lot more farm, so at the moment it has that slight advantage. It is a very even game here, Joe.
That arrow actually hit Schleyer in spawn.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, when he was just walking out, he's like, what? That's annoying. Obviously, you just regened it straight back away. And if you look at the wall coverage, which has now gone a bit, that's another advantage to those wriggles. You can get some good vision when you're starting to push in further.
Vision, yeah.
And Xpecial just doing a good job as well of, countering the whole Millennium warding by having that Oracles up for such a long time now and managing to clear things out. Schleyer, who was obviously the jungler and did have that earlier on, Oracles is what I'm trying to say. Not quite managing to keep that up. Exhaust put out onto Jax. He won't be able to chase him too hard onto Chaos up at that top area. So now we've got a 2-1 tower advantage for Millennium. They are 3k behind in gold, and they are 5 to 6 behind. As we see those pings just going off in the middle area, they did know that Reginald was there as he just peeked out of that bush. It looks like they're kind of setting up no real big push at this stage in towards anywhere, but they're just looking for that one opportunity where someone steps a couple of meters out of position and they're going to jump straight in there and try to capitalize. Yeah,
the double supports both meeting there, and so like, am I going to hit you?
We can't do anything to each other.
Yeah. Soraka kind of like threw the banana at her, and I'm off. They both put wards down though, so, and actually neither of them survived. They're surely going to take this tower down here, so I was taking a little bit of hits. You can see Tidius coming around the side there. Will he be able to jump? In fact, who would he target if he's going to jump on him? I guess it's got to be Chaos. I'm not too sure. Would it be Reginald? Yeah. Reginald's been popping very quickly, and I don't think there's anything going to happen. You can see that they're slowly picking him off here. And this is just, this is the first time we've seen a tense 5v5, 22 minutes in, and Udyr's going to try and start things off. Surely the Ash Arrow would be the thing that would start it off, but instead he's going to hold it back. Obviously he needs to reserve it for... just in case someone goes in there, they just need to get a couple of shots. I mean, really, all they need to do is buy a little bit of time for Ash to manage to hit that tower, but it's not happening for them. Stack-wise, you can see the top is pretty even stuff, so nobody's really going to have to leave this situation, so I think we're going to stay strong in the middle there to a ward going down. That's going to get picked off, surely. I think, there's anyone actually no oracles at all, actually, in the team? Yeah, no. Nunu doesn't have the oracle on. Schleyer got taken down a short while ago, doesn't have oracle on. Let's have a quick look at the items while they're continuing to prod back and forward. I guess it's all going to happen quickly. 252 AP versus 143 AP. Let's have a look at the attack damage wise. You can see Infinity Edge still not completed by Ashe. I'm not too sure whether he's even going to go for it. Hasn't even got Berserker Boots either, whereas compared to Caitlyn and Lilikuli Kandapandi again, has got the Berserker Greaves, the Infinity Edge, and the Zeal. So the difference here is the Wriggles Lantern that they've gone for. You know, it's given them the advantage in that, the fact that they picked up the Dragon, but it's also put them at a disadvantage that their AD carry is actually lower. The Ashe arrow coming through, and they'd already backed off. They kind of knew it was coming. Jax has gone to cover off Ashe top there, so we may well get a nasty situation for Jax here. Jax is already running, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it. You can see them coming around straight round. They're going to try and pin him off. He's actually going to abandon ship. And meanwhile, the rest of his team are going to come around, so they've had to give up on that top tower.
Yeah, this top tower, no way they're going to keep a hold of it. They're just getting rid of that blue before it can be stolen actually by TSM. And it is going to go to Soaz finally when he finishes it off. But here we have once again Linak just showing why you can't leave her alone in a lane. She's going to chip away a good amount of damage from this middle tower. And less than half by the time she actually backs away. And not sure really about that Gangplank ulti. Probably the slow more than the damage is what they were aiming for. But look at that, the odd one down to half HP already. And they're going to continue to push through. Piltover Peacemaker making light work of this minion line. They're just going to have to try and hold Millenium off this middle turret. And as you can see, Linak's just chipping away, and it is going to go down. There was a stun in there onto Rainman. Not in a position where they can really follow that one up. There's a decent stack on top, but of course tower is down. Same on bottom. So we are in now a 3-on-3, and the goal difference at 3K, this is still anyone's game. Amazing game.
It's all about those two dragons that the TSM so far have had. But it is very tight, and it's showing just as they were at DreamHack why that they finished second and third. They were both very, very even matches. There was only really the odd mistake that separated the whole game, so it's still very close stuff. And again, Dragon spawns, Team Solo mid there again, so it's going to give them that small gold advantage. Actually, it turns out pretty big when you add it all up across the team. And again, 190 gold given across the whole board, along with that one little gold that you get from Gangplank. Actually, that's a very good point. They've got Gangplank in there and Ashe there, so you're getting quite a few little bonuses here and there stacking up, but it's not enough but to make it a 3K difference. That's just all about those three dragons. So they're going to push the stacks. You can see top pushed, bottom pushed. The opposition way, actually, that's quite a big stack down bottom, which Millenium might want to try and follow up on.
Yeah, we're going to see it move along there. Obviously,
double Quicksilver Sash here. This is exactly what they needed here. So Annie and Caitlyn both picking up the Quicksilver Sash. Obviously, you've got Udyr in there. You can get the stun. You've got the Ashe arrow. You can get the stun on there. And also Brand stun as well. So, you know, very clever to pick these up. They're pretty cheap items. It gives you good magic resist. And wow, Annie's just trying to find a stun there, trying to do a little bit of damage on the Rayman. And they're getting very aggressive to push it. They know that Brand is down the bottom there. Gangplank's had to come straight round. Reginald now working his way back there. They didn't get enough on that turret though that they wanted. Actually, I think the Howling Gale from Janna did quite a lot of damage there.
Awesome Janna. So still that stack from Millenium is around the middle. As you mentioned, really, there's not so much from either side on that top or bottom lane, so there's no reason why either team needs to really leave this area. I mean, Rainman's been the focus of all the attention. There goes the Ashe arrow. Are they going to follow in? No, they're not. And that was Quicksilver Sash actually used. Ulti comes out. Oh, and Soaz is caught completely out of position. He actually backed in towards TSM during that one. Odd one, he's going very, very low as they flash in. They're going to dive straight in onto Linak. Will TSM look to follow this one up? Minion line is fairly heavy. They're going to clear that one out. And will they push in, or are they going to go for Baron?
Got to be a Baron call, yeah, absolutely. There was no way they were going to push in, and immediately they're going to have to respond. But, you know, there's not really... Wow! 3 wards go down in that bush. It's pretty well covered, let's put it that way.
Plenty of vision there.
And here we go. They're going to go for that Baron. You can see what are they going to do? I mean, they've only got Jax, and Jax is just going to have to leap in. He's going to get absolutely obliterated the minute he does that. And you can see they immediately turn around. They're not going to finish it. No, they're going to turn around. They're going to destroy him. Odd one is actually going to get picked off. Titus will not manage to finish him off, and he will go down. Wow, Soraka's like, oh my god, I got to get the hell out of here. That very well warded up. Meanwhile, Nunu is trying to sneak around the back, trying to finish him off. Titus did manage to get that kill on Gangplank in there. Soraka does go down. However, they've had to abort the Baron. So it kind of bought them the time, and it bought them the Baron buff, and even Slayer's got the damn cheek to go in there and try and take that ward out. And he's going to get Will he manage to finish it off, or will he get taken down? He's going to have to get the hell out of there and abandon that ward kill. It's just not worth it, dude. Go away. So, very nicely played from both teams there, just hanging on. Shirelia's Reverie now been bought on. Nunu, obviously the Rabadon's death cap completed a long time ago by Annie, has got quite a lot of AP, has also got that Quicksilver Sash, like I mentioned, which I think actually didn't help her because she got killed in there. But 326 AP now for Annie compared to 259 on Brand. So Brand definitely catching up. He's got that nuclear large rod and blasting ward, so almost the Rabadon's death cap complete. Soon he does complete that, he will have a lot of AP because it'll give him that big bonus that you get out of it. AD-wise, let's have a look at Caitlyn. You can see Infinity Edge. Zeal had it for quite a while. Actually built up that Quicksilver Sash. Obviously would have normally gone straight for Phantom Dancer, but had a slight change of plan there. Infinity Edge now completed by Chaos on Ashe there, as well as the Zeal, as well as the Wriggle. So really a lot of attack speed and damage in there as well. So overall, they are hitting the penultimate level, really. It's going to be one of those big team fights that make it count.
Yeah, we're not so far away from hitting that 30-minute mark as well. And we are seeing TSM start to work their way up once again, up towards this Baron area. Of course, they do have the Oracle on Janna, and yeah, they are starting to move in there. It is actually clear there's no wards placed so far around there for Millenium. Well, they will drop the Clairvoyance down. We are seeing now TSM starting to move over round towards this blue area. There is a ward in the back. They have spotted it. We are going to see TSM come in here, and we are going to see Millenium try to defend this blue buff. They're pushing in. We saw the drop coming down. Ultimate comes out from Gangplank. We see Soaz fall. Tidus is in all kinds of trouble. Surely will fall, yeah, and actually it's the pillar in the end that gets it from Reginald. And they are pushing down nicely as well onto Linak, who has to flash away from all of that going on. Schleier obviously fell earlier. Linak is now surely going to go down. Stayed alive for a little while. Well, that was a great fight from TSM's point of view. They've lost just Reginald, who even actually, I think, managed to get that kill after he died. Yeah, and it's important to mention X-Special's ulti in there. It really saved them, the Janna ulti. Sometimes it can be a kill or cure, sometimes the Janna ulti, but it really saved their bacon. Reginald was so low, as well as the odd one. He got very low, but the ulti managed to trigger off, blow them away as well. And I think it blew Annie away straight after doing the Tibbers. Managed to just get it before he managed to get the Incinerate off in there. So Baron picked up. Did Reginald get spawned in time? No, not quite. Very close to being spawned in. Oh well, so Reginald up to 369 AP, has that Brilliance pot as well. Doesn't have the benefit of the Baron, but nevertheless, they are in a very strong position now, and a 9k gold advantage. Yeah, that 9k, we've really, since I said we're at the 30-minute mark, it seems like so much has happened there in that last minute. Great play from TSM, and as you mentioned, that Janna ulti, really a massive thing in that last fight. We are seeing Soaz fairly aggressively placed in middle. Here we go. Ash Arrow comes in. It's landed on Soaz. Oh, manages to get away there from Reginald for a split second. Reginald is actually going to flash his way over. Did get the stun off onto Schleier, and his ulti did actually bounce to Soaz as well. They're not going to give up the chase on this one. Nice slow comes in onto the odd one. I think they should be able to get away from this one. Nice net as well. Schleier did get caught again from Reginald, but I think he's out of danger. Yes, he is, but TSM surely will push this turret. Yeah, it's bought them time to take down another inner turret, and that will go down, and another one. It's the first one of the bunch. Meanwhile, Jax was down the bottom. He was trying to clear the lanes. He's just having to madly dash back here. Remember, a team with a Baron buff really is a strong thing, and really, if they'd have got that kill, I think they could have been over by then. But meanwhile, Team Solid Mid, I think they're going to tank it up here. Actually, they've got a few minions in there. It's going to buy them enough time, and it's certainly going to buy them time to take it down. Reginald just keeping them at bay there with that massive pillar of fire that he has. And will they switch straight across? Yes, they will. I think they're going to actually try and tank the bottom turret. I guess Udyr will go straight in, where the Gangplank might do. They're going to go directly for it. Yeah, almost certainly will do. And they've got the agility pots that I can see in there. There's definitely a green glow around them. I think probably got a fortitude pot on the go as well. It's something that we don't actually see with the spec mode. That's one of the few things that we can't see. We can see the glow there. So all three inner turrets taken down by Team Silent Mid with that Baron buff, making great use of it. And just going to go back and say we'll have a dragon as well. Yeah, like they need that extra gold. Yeah. They are actually over the 10k gold advantage point at this stage as well, and Dragon falls in a matter of seconds. So looking very good. We've got two Trinity Forces in action for TSM, one with Gangplank, one with Udyr, and I can't really see how Millenium are going to turn this one around. Look at the ward coverage as well from those Wriggles that TSM have got in action. They are literally covering the entire side of Millennium's side of the map. So they can see everything pretty much that's going on, exactly what Millennium's next move will be. They've gone back again to do a bit more shopping. And see what the next move is. I mean, do you think that Millennium could come back from this one? How are they going to go about that?
The only thing they can do is defend and farm, because they need Jax to get fed. Jax is one of those heroes that can just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and eventually they won't be able to do much about it. If he gets to jump onto Chaos or Reginald, he will kill them. It's inevitable that they will go down. It's just a case of, can they control him enough? And really, can they stop him getting the damage? He doesn't have a great deal of damage right now. That's the big thing. He's got the Hex Tech for Gunblade finally built up there. And you can see that they're going to have to run for their life there. You can see Adir going to come around the side. It's Linak he was trying to go for. Does manage to turtle shield up. Oh, and look at that damage he's managed to do to Udyr. That's huge, considering he's like probably one of the tankiest guys on the team by a long stretch of the imagination. You can see Chaos just hanging around there, wanting to try and get the arrow off onto someone. Instead, they're just going to push straight on the mid there. They've got Gangplank also trying to squeeze in the side there. Had put a nice push in it. Linak needs to be careful. He doesn't get caught out. Meanwhile, they're going to put pressure on this mid, and they will take down the mid turret. That is the first base turret. That is deadly for Millennium there. And surely now they're looking at defeat. They're going to have to try and pull something miraculous to get out of this. That inhibitor's going to go down unless they really go for a full-on attack. I think they're going to have to pull back straight towards the double towers by the Nexus. Yeah, they are. There's nothing they can do about this. They just got caught split very nicely by Gangplank there, and I think they're just going to go straight across. Now, they're going to know the timer on Baron. I don't think it's going to be yet. They're going to push this stack down. I guess they're going to push maybe the bottom stack as well, and whether someone's going to peel off. I can see Udyr maybe peeling off, actually just picking up blue buff and saying, okay, we've got all the farm in the jungle. So they have absolute, utter control. 13k ahead. The inhibitor down now, so I really don't know what they're going to be able to do about this.
Yeah, they've taken the red, they've taken the blue, both from the Millennium side, and this is a super strong TSM team
Linak,
coming
surely.
Straight in there as well. And yep, there goes the Ash Arrow in onto Linak, flashes away on, just caught out there. Must have been the end of the range there from Janna. But that's allowed TSM to start moving in. And look at Udyr going in there, gets the stun onto Soaz. That's forced him away. Nunu ulti, and Rainman just got out of range, but he's dead here for sure. He's got into a position where he's a little bit too far away. Oh, X-Special actually came in there as well, tried to use the ulti to save his teammate. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out. They have changed there over onto Schleier. He goes down. This turret's going to fall. The inhibitor will go with it very, very quickly as well. And in fact, they're all dead now, Millennium. I missed the last one. 20 seconds, first man alive, which will be Soraka, which is hardly the base defender that you'd want to rely on. And they should just chip straight through here. This should be good game. It should be TSM taking it.
Yeah, very well played by TSM. The odd one thought he caught. He was like, I'm going to die just at the end. But that's going to be TSM, going to be topping the group. Who will they play? That is the question. They played brilliantly here, it has to be said. Millennium put up a good fight. But overall, Team Solar Mid were dominant. They are the victors. They will top Group A. And there they are. The Americans have come over, and they have dominated their group. It has to be said. They've won. And with that triple Wriggles build that they've gone for as well, all 3 games. How will the Europeans react to that? And will we see the CLG doing the same thing? That's tomorrow. That's what we're going to find out.
Well, definitely the European teams, obviously, in Group B, which is SK, is Fnatic, and Frag Executors. They can definitely be thinking now about this whole Wriggles thing and how they're going to go up against CLG tomorrow. But in terms of Team Solo Mid, now everyone's seen them play here today. The guys in Group B, they'll be watching, no doubt, as well, the entire day. In fact, I think all 3 teams are here the whole day. When it comes to tomorrow now, Solo Mid can sit and they can study all the games that they get to see here on stage and on the second stage, and think about how they're going to go up against a European or possibly an American team tomorrow, if CLG obviously finish second, because with topping the group, just to go over that one once again, we have 2 teams from each group going through. It will be a first against second place semi-final, so you get that kind of seed, but as we said earlier, I don't think it really matters when you look at the strength of Group B.
I mean, who do you want out of that group? You just got to pick it as a team. You think, do I really want CLG? TSM CLG? Well, CLG beat them just a week ago. That's going to be in the back of their minds. And they beat them badly as well. It was like a 20-minute rollover, very strong game. Not quite 20 minutes, but it was close. Do you want SK? SK with their amazingly strong lineup that they've got at the moment. You know, who wants to go against Candy Panda down the bottom there? And then you got Fnatic, obviously DreamHack winners only a few months ago. Absolutely awesome on the LAN. And then you got Frag Executors. We don't know what they're going to turn up like. But I believe we're going to have some interviews. So Kelly's going to get a hold of the players over with Millenium and Team Solo Mid.
All right, just want to ask you, Millenium really quickly, why do you actually pick Nunu as a draft? Because they nerfed a hero. Was it because you wanted to win early game?
We wanted to take the early game with Annie, but they made a good swap lane that we didn't saw coming by putting Udyr mid and Braun top, and that harmed us. And then they took a little advantage by taking kill, taking dragon, and then some mistake, and they played well. So,
well, you're still true to the groups for the top 8, so you should be happy. All right, just want to ask Solo Mid really quickly, why do you actually put Ashe Solo Mid for the game?
It was actually a mistake because we thought that Caitlyn was going to solo. We thought that Jackson Caitlyn was going to solo, but that wasn't the case. Annie went middle, and I went top because I thought I was going to solo against an Annie, and then it ended up being a Jax, and we just stood with those lanes because I was destroying the Jax because he was melee and I was range.
Well, so both these teams actually, even though Millenium lost, both Solo Mid and Millenium has made it to the next round of the tournament, so you guys should be happy.
Yeah, we're extremely excited to make it to the next day as Seed 1, but we're still going to keep at our game, try our best, and try to take the tournament.
Who do you guys want to meet the most if you do, get to meet other teams like SK or Fnatic? Who are you worried about playing, and who do you want to meet?
Well, as of now, I'm not really worried about any other team because I just want to focus on my own play, and we're just going to go in trying to play our best. And if we happen to lose because they're the better team, then they're the better team.
That's great. Congratulations to both of you.
The virtual world has never been safer. Protected by someone perfectly prepared to defend it. Uncompromising against all cyber threats. The next generation of internet security.
Boring! Are they penguins or are they sloths?
They want a show? We'll give them a show. Ready, Kowalski?
Roger that.
Operation Rico Star is a... Bingo.
Look at him go! He's crack-a-lackin'!
Mission accomplished. No more smiling and waving for us, boys. High fives all around.
When the second-generation Intel Core i5 processor goes in, amazing visual performance comes out. That's visibly smart.
Jetzt mit dem E-Postbrief ganz einfach und unkompliziert die Trusted Pro-Mitgliedschaft und deine neue Player-Card bestellen. Dank E-Postbrief und Postident-Verfahren bietet dir Trusted Pro die höchste Account-Sicherheit in der ESL und Zugang zu exklusiven Ligen und Turnieren. Mit Unterstützung der Deutschen Post bekommst du deine Trusted Pro-Mitgliedschaft und die Player-Card schon für 3,95 €. Oder besuch ein Event der Pro Series und erhalte die Trusted Pro-Mitgliedschaft inklusive ESL Player-Card kostenlos. Trusted Pro und der E-Postbrief für mehr Sicherheit beim Online-Gaming.
Der Tag Nummer 2 heute hier auf der Gamescom 2011 nimmt so langsam aber sicher sein Ende. Natürlich geht es noch weiter. Wir haben noch den dritten Tag, natürlich Freitag. Samstag gibt es auch noch und Sonntag auch noch. Wir werden noch jede Menge E-Sport hier erleben dürfen und viel Spaß haben. Heute haben wir natürlich viele schöne Spiele gesehen. Wir haben vor allen Dingen heute auch mal wieder League of Legends gesehen, aber natürlich auch StarCraft 2 nicht ganz so viel. Deswegen wollen wir euch natürlich auch noch mal zeigen, wie es in den Gruppen ausgegangen ist. Wir schauen uns jetzt Gruppe 10 mal ganz kurz an, denn es gab auch einige Überraschungen. Denn die größte Überraschung heute hier auf der Gamescom ist wohl, dass Hack auf Platz 4 gelandet ist mit 1:6 nach Maps. Die positivste Überraschung ist Nercho auf Platz 1 mit 6:0. Sehr, sehr starker Spieler online. Heute durfte er offline auch beweisen, also hier vor Ort, dass er kaum zu schlagen ist. Und Moonglade auf Platz 2, wie er ja schon sagt, hat sehr, sehr viel trainiert. 6 bis 8 Stunden jeden Tag. Und ich denke dann auch zu Recht auf Platz 2. Schade für Tarsen, den sympathischen Polen, der es nicht ganz geschafft hat. Das ist unsere Gruppe C. Wir wollen natürlich auch die Gruppe D mal kurz unter die Lupe nehmen. Auch dort gab es einige schöne Spiele. Ich hoffe, ihr konntet sie auf der etwas kleineren Bühne da hinten links auch verfolgen. Wenn nicht, dann hoffentlich das VOD, nämlich unter esl.tv. Und wir schauen uns die Gruppe an. Und da haben wir auch hier eine Überraschung für meinen Geschmack. Mana mit 3 Siegen in Best of Threes. 6 Maps gewonnen, nur eine verloren. Und das Interessante ist, er hat sogar Puma, den NASL-Sieger, 2:0 in seine Schranken gewiesen. Stefano auf Platz 3, der ja auch echt ganz gut gespielt hat. Und Sase, der eventuell so ein bisschen als Underdog hier reingegangen ist, aber von vielen Spielern als einer der möglichen Top-2-Kandidaten gesehen worden ist, hat es gar nicht erst geschafft, überhaupt einen Punkt zu holen. Ja, und das sind die StarCraft 2-Gruppen, die wir insgesamt haben. Es wird hammer geil morgen, nämlich mit dem Viertelfinale in StarCraft 2. Morgen haben wir aber zusätzlich natürlich auch noch die League of Legends Gruppe und danach geht es dann auch dort ins Halbfinale am Samstag. Und ich freue mich schon sehr auf diese Spiele. Natürlich unter anderem morgen wieder mit dabei das große Finale von Deutschlands bester Gamer. In 3 verschiedenen Disziplinen suchen wir den besten Spieler in ganz Deutschland in Zusammenarbeit mit Computerbildspiele und haben darüber hinaus auch noch das Inter-Friday Night Camp, das erste der neuen Saison. Das wird natürlich auch, da haben wir endlich auch wieder mal ein bisschen Ego-Shooter-Action mit am Start. Ich freue mich sehr, aber auch FIFA ist mit dabei. Und ich hoffe, ihr schaltet auch rein und werdet auf jeden Fall eine Menge Spaß haben. Ja, ich würde sagen, an dieser Stelle danke, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt. Ich hoffe, ihr habt jede Menge Spaß. Checkt unsere VODs aus auf esl.tv. Ich wünsche euch jetzt noch einen schönen Abend. Ich habe noch ein kleines Video für euch mitgebracht. Viel Spaß.
Also ich kenne Timo Gruneisen ganz gut, er ist mein Ex-2 und 2-Mate und ich weiß ganz genau, wie er spielt und ich glaube, ich bin der kreativere Typ und deswegen werde ich hier gewinnen. Das wird ein sehr schweres Spiel gegen Sascha, ich schätze ihn auch als Favorit weit.
Oh, der pummelt sich da durch, das Fake! Und dann geht er rein, das 1:0!
Ja, offensichtlich hat alles gepasst, da konnte sie mal bei aufspielen und hinten hat sie ein bisschen Fehler gemacht, das hat mich geärgert, aber es wird nicht abstellen.
Und jetzt ist er wieder gefährlich nah am Tor. Oh nein, da ist er drin, 1:0!
Natürlich mache ich mir selber ein bisschen Bock, ich möchte gerne hier nochmal gewinnen, aber es geht primär darum, Spaß zu haben.
Danny Engels, SK Husky, gewinnt. Wir sind sehr, sehr stolz, dass wir hier sein dürfen.
Wir machen jetzt gleich mit Halo weiter.
Ja, natürlich ist der Siegesehrgeiz dabei, aber wollen ja auch realistisch bleiben. Schauen wir mal.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch nochmal. Toll gespielt.
Platz 1 von der League of Legends,
We're coming in the match blinded and we don't even know.
situation. They're going to go straight in for it, this one. We're going to carry on going with it, Daniel, at the moment, because Reginald's going to dive straight in there. Reginald needs to be very careful. He's put the ulti on himself, so now he's going to flash in. Will that ulti manage to get used up before he dies? No, it won't. He's going to go around. The egg has been popped. That's going to get taken down. We'll just continue pounding on it. They're going to dive straight in. Then it looks like will be Olaf. Olaf's almost certainly going to go down with it. Get on the fountain just in time. Yes, he will. The fountain just about survive in there. Janet does go down. I think Gragas is not going to be able to get at this one. Look at that. Rayman's just saying, I don't care about 2 towers. I'll just go straight in there. Tower goes down. Inhibitor goes down. And you have to say, well played to Team Selamid. They've looked solid.
I want to thank them all for coming, making posters, and supporting us. I love them. And we'll try our best at this tournament.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat-trick from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Lena, 20 health left. Oh, no, she will flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. The amazing defense champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.